Hello, is this Mr. Gambino here with a new stream? And this stream must be going over the event weakness. Okay, if I can finally hear myself, it seems awesome. Alright, sorry about that there. But yeah, when I first was doing a bunch of streams, for some reason, my audio did not seem to want to work good, but it's working good first time, it seems, this time around. But yeah, for those who for some reason might not be able to tell, I have a PlayStation 5 now, which is quite exciting. However, they really messed up the streaming, it seems, for this system compared to the PS4. I'll kind of talk about it, I guess, from my first experiences. It's going to be the first live stream, hopefully, as long as it gets fully published and everything. But yeah. One thing I do like about the PS5 streaming, it seems, it actually saves the title and everything you enter, and that way if a stream goes wrong or something, you need to redo it or something for some reason, the same details are on there already. Yeah, I imagine it's the same for the description. I know it's also like that for the tags. So that's a nice change there. Something with the tags, though, that I really don't like with the PlayStation 5 streaming, it seems so far, is that for whatever dumb reason they decided to do spaces as underscores, which is really weird. Considering that you can literally do underscores manually if you really wanted to do underscores, but literally it seems every single space when you do commas after the different tags and stuff, for some reason all the spaces convert into underscores, which is really annoying. So if I want to add tags to these, I guess I'm going to be doing that for mobile or on desktop or some shit now. So thanks for ruining tags. I mean, I don't know how you mess something as simple as tags up with your PlayStation 5 streaming, but okay. Yeah, that's one huge thing I noticed. And yeah, I was having a lot of audio issues and stuff, but this one seems to be working fine at least. I didn't have to change any setting or anything at the end. But yeah, I don't think my audio was coming through all day kind of yesterday unless I changed certain settings and stuff. So I'll probably have to learn the PlayStation 5 streaming a bit because it's quite different, believe it or not. Something else they seemingly removed was the Mrs. Spectator. Or that's the first thing they probably want removed I'm talking about here. So yeah, with Mrs. Spectator being gone, I cannot really give any highlights aside for obviously the title now, unfortunately. But on the bright side, I'm kind of forced to have a more professional stream setup because while the spectator is really helpful, obviously it has the border around and then obviously the comments, which at least on PS4 is permanently. But yeah, on PlayStation 5, apparently the comments will only show up for 5 seconds from what I know, from what I've heard. I guess they are kind of thought bubbles now or something. So if I get any comments and stuff and the viewer count, it will only show briefly. And that's something as well, I think, is that the viewer count you can actually turn off now entirely, because I don't think you could actually do that on the PlayStation 4. I don't think you can turn off the viewer count on there. Yeah, you can get rid of the borders, but I think viewer count will always show no matter what on there. Another improvement is that there's actually private and unlisted streams as an option. However, I think you only do it before starting a stream, so if for some reason you want in the middle of a stream to make it private or unlisted, and you originally made it public, I think you have to go for YouTube itself. So that's a huge issue. Yeah, it's nice they added private unlisted streams now from the actual system, and not gonna do it on YouTube directly. For the start of the stream, if you want to change a different setting and whatnot, you can't do it from the broadcast menu. Because there's obviously a broadcast menu you can go in, during the stream. Another cool thing I noticed with the PS5 streaming is there's actually a pause broadcast setting, which I don't think was a thing on the PS4 at all. So if you toggle it on, it will actually show a pause menu. So you can use like a pause broadcasting thing so viewers know when you're actually like gone doing something else or something. So yeah, there is a couple to few great improvements, but at the same time they really made some really dumb decisions. Like I said, every time you space in the tag section in particular, like it will turn into like underscores. It converts spaces into underscores for some weird reason on the tags. Even though, like I said, you can actually do underscores manually, so I don't know why they made that retard change of the tags. And yeah, no message spectator option at all. That's really lame. Like, I wish I could put another, like, I wish I could put like 100 characters on the screen or something. I think it made it where you can just have like text on the screen and then like it's not in the form of a border. That would have been a vast improvement over the PS4's message spectator. But no, it seems they got rid of message spectator entirely. So I can't really show any like highlights aside for obviously title, as I mentioned, unfortunately, with that change. And yeah, also something interesting is, another interesting thing is the stream quality. I think is minimum of 720p, whereas I think there's 360p for the PS4. So I'm hoping my streams won't have much more issues. I'm hoping like the stream performance is a lot better on PS5 compared to PS4, because I would get a lot of those dumb internet connection quality currently insufficient bullshit messages, of course, because my internet's not the greatest and all. So I'm hoping that's not a thing on the PS5 much, hopefully. So yeah, the minimum setting on here I think is like a 720, and then there's a couple other numbers before that I think, but I don't entirely know what it means. And it's like 30 FPS. There's a 60 FPS option for 720, and then I think there's 1080 and whatnot. I don't know about like 4K and stuff. Maybe you have a 4K TV, but I do not. But yeah, that's me just mentioning a bunch of like different improvements and also like worse things in terms of the PS4 and PS5 streaming. The PS5 streaming, like how it's good and then worse than the PS4 streaming. So I just want to give my first little impressions here before I start my first PlayStation 5 live stream, like the actual like purpose of it. So obviously it's going over the event link stream like I usually do. So now that I got that all the way, I'll go into benefits section, and like the main thing is the 2 times money XP on Ember, the East opportunity. So that's why I did my title. And again, like I mentioned, they got rid of Message Spectator for some dumb reason, so I can't put other text on the screen, which is really dumb. I don't know why they removed that feature. If anything, they should have improved it, not requiring you to have like a border on the screen just for Message Spectator. You know, like got rid of it entirely or anything. But yeah, total money XP for stealing the Ember in the East. And yeah, that's an opportunity mission, which is the missions that require the Capitale for the blood money stuff. So for those who don't know what that is, that's one of those like couple missions that require the Capitale. So it's basically like one of the couple best missions of the blood money DLC. Essentially, it's one of the best couple missions. But yeah. And by the way, I'm using the DualSense microphone. If I haven't mentioned, I'm not using the headset, but I might end up using the headset because I don't know, something about holding the controller and having my mouth to it the whole time. It's kind of weird. At the same time, I kind of like not having to wear something in my head. I don't feel I should have to be obligated to wear something in my head just to be able to communicate on a like stream or something. That's something I've really liked about the PlayStation 5. It's a very innovative controller for sure. But yeah, hard to really say on the blood money thing. Like I said, it's one of the couple like best blood money missions, obviously, because those are some of the like finale missions. Essentially, the opportunities are like the finale, kind of like very huge blood money missions. So I don't think I'd have to say, and they should be some of the best blood money missions for the Ember of the East opportunities. So it should be a very good opportunity, no doubt. I haven't played it myself, but I guarantee it should be very good for spending your Capitale. But yeah, the Blue Water contract and then the Cornwall contract. Those have extra audio money, XP, and Capitale. And I'll let you get onto my Chrome here, because I think I verified my microphone was working, because I was actually having, like, audio issues when I was testing on my stream, but I think this one seemingly worked right away, so that's good. So I don't know if it was just because I set up the stream stuff for the first time, if it was, for a while I was having issues or what, but yeah. You get 2 times money and XP for the Blue Water contract and Cornwall contracts in particular. And what those are the 3-part Blood Money missions. Those are the ones that have like 3 parts to them each and every time. And the worst part about the 3-part contract missions is they tend to have massive cooldowns. So there tends to be like 60 and like 70-minute cooldowns from what I remember for the 3-part contract missions. So you will have a lot of weight between the different parts, but if you can do like 1 Blue Water and then 1 Cornwall, if you can go like back and forth between those 2, that's probably the best way to go about those. If you want to do those 2 for the 2 times money XP. But it's probably just like the standard missions, except there's like 3 of them, so a pale even on double, and then XP probably won't necessarily be that great if you're going to do like one of those things at all. I probably would just go for the Ember of the East thing. Obviously, if you want to build up some more capital to keep repeating that mission, then yeah, those are definitely some good options for the event week. Apparently, you can summon upon additional capital and chests, and then in the pockets of like fallen enemies, of course. Complete any contract that's weak will apparently get you a free basket and 2,000 character XP. Nice. Very good if you want to level up that Quick Draw Club number 3, no doubt. So very good opportunity there for getting Quick Draw Club number 3 complete. More details apparently on the extra capital all week long. And yeah, you get a guaranteed 10 capital or more, and it all has to do with rank, apparently, from what I remember. And it's not on the screen anyways right now. And it is based on your rank by the end of September 27th. So that's essentially like by the end of this event week that they're determining it based on your rank, I suppose. Rank 5 and below will get 10 capitale. Rank 6 to 50 will apparently get 15 capitale, and then those above rank 51 will get 20 capitale. And for those who don't know, I'm pretty sure it's 15 capitale to start up an opportunity, so as long as they're within like 650, 51, you're basically getting like a free opportunity mission, which is quite nice. Maybe rank 5 below is not too bad, but who's really rank 5 and below these days? But yeah, at least the rank requirements aren't necessarily too high, but still. And then earn bonus capitale by completing clearing. Oh, okay, I was reading it wrong. By completing clearing house. I thought they were like saying some like free mode thingy, and I was like, the wording doesn't seem to make sense, but that's just a very particular like blood money mission or something. But if you do a clearing house crime, which I believe you can get from any of the 4 characters, or it might be one of the more particular ones, but I imagine a lot of the characters have clearing house, you'll get an additional 5 capitale, which, 5 capitale, not really not worth it, but at least it's something, I suppose. Posse XP bonus and then free fast travel. But yeah, Posse members will get added 20% XP bonus. So I guess if you do things in a Posse members will get added 20% XP, which is quite nice. So definitely be sure to be part of a Posse if you want to go for some extra Quick Draw Club number 3 experience for sure for the event week for the last couple days of it. So now that's like early Saturday. And this is the event week from early Tuesday, of course, by the way. And on top of the usual bonus, for all fast travel fees are waived. So if you want to fast travel across the map and stuff, if you don't really like going from point A to point B on horseback or something, fast travel fees are waived, which is very great. And What you can do, of course, a good thing to do with fast travel is if you want to like spawn to your camp for when you first go into the lobby, you can go into like a more particular town or something. So it's a free way of essentially traveling to like a very particular like town pretty early in a lobby by horse, for example. That's definitely quite nice. And then obviously there's the wilderness camp. Either if you complete like the Outlaw Pass 4 or 5, whatever, or of course if you bought the like wilderness camp thing, of course, with the latest update that they added for the fence. So you can definitely get quite the nice benefits for sure when it comes to the wilderness camp and then the fast travel post up at camp, especially those two. Quick outcome number 3 benefits. I believe it's just like repeat stuff from previous event weeks. I don't think there's anything new there. And then 30% off all pamphlets, revolvers, and codes, apparently. So for those who want to... Okay, it's pamphlets from prior Outlaw passes. The way it worded on the top suggested all pamphlets, but it seems it's just from prior Outlaw passes for ones from the Outlaw passes in particular. Which there are some pretty good ones. There's like the ammo like pamphlet things. I imagine those kind of count as pamphlets for the ones that allow to like store more of certain ammos. And the fast travel one again, for again the fast travel with the wilderness camp, the ability to do that, I imagine that would count under the prior Outlaw passes for 30% off Outlaw passes pamphlets. So that's a very good one to get as well. So a lot of the like new ones they added, I'd say would be some of the best ones to take advantage of from pamphlets from prior Outlaw passes. And then yeah, revolvers. One revolver I highly recommend would definitely have to be the Mat revolver. Having access to revolver ammo and like shotgun slugs is definitely quite nice. Having 2 completely different like ammo types is definitely quite nice. For the Mat revolver with the revolver and the shotgun slug. And obviously there's like some of the more powerful revolvers would probably be like the Navy revolver and then like the Schofield revolver and stuff like that. So that's a couple highlights, I'd say, for revolvers, and then coats, apparently. Coats are 30% off as well, which is just a complete cosmetic thing, pretty much. But at least it's something. And then, yeah, special discounts as well. Other discounts includes 40% off offhand holsters. It says all of them, so it seems any that are tied to like rolls as well. Because like I think every roll tends to have an offhand holster, so you can get 40% off the roll offhand holsters, it seems, as well. For those who want the dual wield, if for some reason you have not unlocked the dual wield capabilities by now. And then, yeah, 30% off all coats, revolvers, and then certain skill pamphlets, which seems to be for the previous Outlaw passes in particular. And yeah, Prime Gaming is the same as before, nothing new in terms of Prime Gaming. However, this seems to be the very last week. It seems it's finally going to be changing again for next event week. But for those who might not know the vitalism studies, you can get, from my experience, you can get any vitalism studies, and I think the most expensive is the opossum one. I think that one's like 12 gold bars. The thing with the vitalism studies, even if you're not like huge on the vitalism studies, if you want, the thing about vitalism studies is, yeah, while you might not ever use the vitalism studies, you might as well take advantage of it, because you can only use gold bars on vitalism studies. You cannot use cash at all. There's no cash alternative like there is for other items that you can use cash or gold. Vitalism studies are for some reason one of those like few things that you have to spend gold bars on, pretty much. So if you're not big on the vitalism studies, which I don't blame people, they're nowhere near as fun as the peyote plans like the proximity limits and stuff like that, then yeah, just to save on gold bars, since there's no cash alternative, regardless of if you like the vitalism studies much or not, I would still take advantage of it, especially in the opossum one for 12 gold bars. Since if there was a cash alternative, that's basically $300 in savings, but yeah, it's only in gold. So yeah, definitely take advantage of that one. And yeah, I'm not going to really go into detail on the Nitros selling roll item one. I've done that previous times. But I did want to bring up the importance again of the vitalism studies. Like, that's a super huge discount there that they're providing, or actually it's not in discount, I think it's free vitalism studies, I think it's in. Like, I just want to highlight again how huge that is, because you can only spend gold bars on those, and there's better, worth spending your gold bars on anyways. And yeah, just a couple more things I would imagine. I'll go over a featured series now that I remembered. But yeah, featured series seems to be the bow and arrow series this time around. What seems to be a rotation, make it count, and target races using only bow and arrows. Yeah, I think make it count, if I remember, is like some kind of game mode where you're limited to one weapon, so it makes a lot of sense for that. However, the target races, I think you can pick up other weapons. I don't know if they have it for the featured series or they disabled like weapon pickups or not. But yeah, there's a couple modes I think make a lot of sense for that weapon in particular, so pretty interesting featured series this time.
Howdy.
Okay, it seems I actually have the wiki collection actually, and it's pretty interesting. The blue collection is the wiki collection this week.
You have a good one.
But yeah, I do have all three of them, it's nice. A little under 3 days left for the event week, it seems. Nowhere near the latest I've been for an event week though, but yeah. But yeah, it's a couple interesting things. There's a Totally Monster fossil, and a Cephalopod fossil, and then a rock bass. Collection values $95, which is pretty decent. It's kind of one of the higher up collection values, I would imagine, but still not in the barely triple digits. And a rock bass, which is very interesting. That's actually not one that's traditionally in a collector set. The rock bass is a more unique one that shows up there. I'll try to find these two fossils in their main collection first of all. Okay, I think this was one of them in the coastal fossils. And then the oceanic fossil here with Holy Monster, I think. So that's like full collector sets they're in. So yeah. I probably wouldn't go for this collection set, honestly, unless you already have all this stuff essentially. Because you have fossils. The problem with fossils is those are completely randomized. It doesn't really matter how you go about them. Anyway, you basically get fossils that are in a completely randomized. You basically get them in a completely randomized way. They're not like above ground collectibles where if you use like some sort of collector map on like your preferred search engine or something, you're practically guaranteed to get any sort of like underground collectible you desire. Or if I said underground, I meant like any above ground collectible, you're basically able to get any above ground collectible like guaranteed as long as you're willing to look into where it would be on like some sort of collector map on your preferred search engine again. But yeah. Main problem with fossils randomized last couple few updates where like because it's fully randomized, even if you use like collector map on your preferred search engine, whatever your preferred search engine is, if you go on some sort of like collector map, you can find fossil spots, probably for the like very particular stats even, but you won't be able to find like exact spots for the exact Totally Monster and then the exact Cephalopod fossil. You'll only be able to find like spots for fossils in general, or even like the certain class of fossil. So you can't narrow down, unfortunately, like what exact fossil you'll get. Like I said, what you can do with above ground collectibles is not underground collectibles. Like in a realistic sense, Rockstar is in a realistic sense because you can't see it underground, of course, until you dig it up. I guess that's where they implement like the randomness, so it does make sense in a sense, even though it wasn't always like that. But yeah. So yeah, that's the big negative with these ones. Because of that, with the full randomness with the fossils, I wouldn't highly recommend this collection set personally. I would rather go for the full sets for these fossils, quite frankly. If anything, that are always permanently in the game, obviously. And then the rock bass. Rock bass, from what I recall, is one of the more like common fishes. You can find those in quite a bit of places. And there's like a bait recommendation using cheese, which might be like an infinite bait. I think there's some like baits that are like basically infinite. I think the cheese is one of like infinite like baits you can use to catch fish. So this one shouldn't be anywhere near as bad as the fossil as I would say to get. I think they're qualifying these pretty close to like Blackwater and then like in the Dakota River and stuff like that. So I think the Dakota River and then whatever like that one river is like above like Blackwater and stuff, I think are a couple good locations. But you can probably generally find these in a lot of different like clear things of water, not like swamps or anything, I would imagine. But yeah. So I think that should take care of that. And also kind of going back into PlayStation 5, extreme differences compared to PlayStation 4. Because you can't really have like a border, there's not really much of a border from what I could tell that you can have on. That basically means I don't know like how long a stream is actually going unless I like go on the broadcast menu, which is quite annoying. Again, I don't see like how Sony thought was necessarily to like remove the border option and then like the spectator. Like hopefully in the future they bring features like that back in the live stream. Considering it's been almost a year, I kind of doubt they care to do that, unfortunately. So they really dumbed down on some of the features in live streaming, unfortunately. So in some ways, I do prefer the PlayStation 4 to live streaming, even though this is only my first PlayStation 5 live stream. I feel they definitely very unnecessarily cut down on features and stuff. But at the same time, I did give praise to this live stream for PlayStation 5 because it allows you to do private and unlisted streams at the beginning. Just not, unfortunately, like you can't change the privacy. Yeah, unfortunately, you cannot change the privacy though. Like during the stream, you can only do that at the beginning before you start it up for some reason. And it does keep the title the same, which is quite nice. And actually with the description, it no longer like takes automatically from the About Me section. I think in PS4 it automatically takes from your like About Me section on your channel page or something for the description. And yeah, that was like super annoying to like have to delete that every single like live stream or whatever. So that's definitely quite nice, but I do like it does say the title in case you have an issue with the stream or something. But yeah. Trying to think of what else I want to like say about it. I think I've basically mentioned practically everything I want to like say on my first impressions of the PlayStation 5 streaming in comparison to PlayStation 4, the good and the bad and the ugly and all that stuff, essentially. I guess that's what people kind of call it, for like a mean kind of way of saying it. But yeah. I make sure really quick that there's nothing on the Rockstar Newswire that for some reason wouldn't be on the benefits section. I doubt it, especially with these like smaller event weeks. No, just not like much of a new content edition, but yeah. Doesn't necessarily look like it for sure. Okay. There is actually a little more specification in terms of like the posse XP thing, but I think it's basically anything you do with a posse, you'll get 20% more XP. I would imagine it's basically anything you can do with a posse. But for some examples, it says for group activities, uploading missions, free roam missions, free roam events, and then bounty missions. And again, that's in terms of the 20% XP boost I showed off earlier for the posse stuff. I don't think it's limited to that stuff. It didn't really state there's like much of any limitations. I think that's just like a couple few examples of some of the stuff you should do for some 20% posse XP boosts. And yeah, that seems to be like the only thing I could think of on the Rockstar Newswire that was kind of worth bringing up. Again, the last thing I just brought up there, of course, had to do with the Posse XP thing, because they don't really mention that here. They didn't like give a few examples of what would be good for doing for the Posse XP. So that's kind of something on the Rockstar Newswire, since that wasn't on the benefits section. But yeah, I think that's finally going to be it for this stream. Again, it's my very first PlayStation 5 live stream. Again, unfortunately, I'm not a big fan of what they did with the PlayStation 5 live stream for the most part. Like, just some very small, nice improvements, but there's also some really, really dumb changes. I think the really, really dumb changes definitely overshadowed the, like, small, like, few good things they did with the streaming now. I think the negatives are unfortunately way, like, more impactful than the positives in this case. But yeah, even though I kind of prefer the PS4 streaming with the most spectator, I am like going to move on with PlayStation 5 streaming, because I'm not going to like just plug in my PS4 just to stream. Like, I'm just going to fully move on from it for the most part. So I'll probably be doing PS5 streams regardless of the really dumb changes that I am not very fond of. Hopefully video creation is not too badly impacted like live streaming, because I haven't really messed with Share Factory yet on the PS5. But yeah, that's probably gonna be it for the stream. Hope you enjoyed. First PlayStation 5 stream again, for sure indeed.